Good morning and welcome to Shine 365. I'm so glad that you are here joining us today. I'm Sherrie Belmar, your host, and I am so excited about our guest today. That is Denise Mira, and we are going to be bringing her on very, very soon. But first of all, I just wanted to remind you that we are in the month of what? May. Yes, you can. We are finishing off this week. And what is the whole idea behind Yes, You Can? So many times we listen to those voices that are constantly telling us that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't, you can't, you can't. And all this month, we have been bringing on women, amazing, each one with a different perspective, doing things that are different because there are more than one ways to climb your mountain. And so this is to give you the tools and the strategies to support you on this path. And so Denise is actually an author. And not only that, she is a speaker and entrepreneur and also an author. And she is going to be sharing with us how you can take your wherever you are living and be able to monetize this and to not sit on the money that is in your backyard. So without any further ado, we are going to bring Denise on. Denise, let's get you up here. Awesome. Welcome, Denise. How are you this
Sherrie, thank
morning?
you. I'm so good and I'm so excited to be here. And I want everybody to stop right now and forget about what I've done because it is so tempting when we hear somebody's bio, we get the cliff notes and we go, oh my gosh, I can't do that. There's a shiny person. I can't relate. No, no, no. This is for you 100 million%. I don't walk on water. I don't glow in the dark. I'm just like you. And I was so tired of living in a struggle bubble financially.
Mm.
Why did I live in a struggle bubble, Sherrie? Because my priority, ultimate priority, was to be the wife and mother God called me to be.
Mm.
And the enemy of the system wants to preoccupy us women with
Mm.
trying to create wealth so that we don't have time with the children, right? And so for years and years in ministry, it's 2 for 1. And oh, I love the Lord and I love building churches and planning churches and standing right next to my husband. But underneath all that, I wasn't getting a paycheck for working in that. And at the same time, just wanting to nurture my children. Lots of opportunities came. I had a federal government job that would have lined my pockets for the next 60 years.
Mm.
But I got pregnant with my first, and we said, nope, doesn't matter what that 401k is going to look like. We want to care about what this son's going to look like, right, Sherrie? And
Yes.
so just I can relate to you women out there who are trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. You are trying to clip coupons and eat at kids' meals, eat free, and you're longing for a really sweet vacation that you see on Instagram, and you want to have those pillows on your couch. Can you hear what I'm saying?
Oh,
And so for
absolutely.
decades, I
Is this
lived
is
and I
this is this is resonating? Just put me there in the chat. We want to hear what you have to
please,
say.
please do. I'd love to hear from you because I lived where you're possibly living right now. Now, I wasn't a victim. And this was the funny thing. I
Mm.
didn't believe I was a victim and I didn't believe I didn't have enough. I did not focus on that. I really, really used the word of God as my manifestation tool. And I believed to see the goodness of God in the land of the living. And I believed, and some of you need to hear this today, Luke 1:45. I believe this and hung on to this so tight like a dog with a bone. Okay. That blessed is she who believed. Do you believe out there? Are you a believer? Blessed is she who believed, for there shall be, not maybe, not might,
That's right.
not let's hope, there shall be a performance
Mm.
of those things which were told her from the Lord. And
Mm.
so didn't matter. I couldn't take my kids out to lunch in the minivan and let them play in the playground. We did not have that extra bandwidth in our finance. But somehow I said, God, you see, and you know, and you're going to make something wonderful out of nothing. Ladies, if you're out there, this is one of my favorite things. I should get the tattoo. If I got tattoos, I'd get this tattooed. Nothing happens to me. Everything happens for me. And so consequently, Sherrie, even though we were living in a struggle bubble, I didn't feel like I was struggling, but he began to work on me. I'm looking at our retirement. I'm looking at our bank account. I'm looking at all the generosity that was in our hearts to pour out to others, when actually we didn't have a whole lot of loaves and fishes of our own. And this thing beat in my heart, like, how could I make money fast? How could I take what I have and turn it into something? And I said, rentals. Rentals are hot. This was 2019, right before COVID hit. Airbnbs, right? People are making cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I leveraged our lives. I took our entire bank account. I emptied our 401k and I bought a house. And it had more than one door. In essence, downstairs, I could rent out the downstairs. And Sherrie, I jumped off the cliff and I was scared to death. And one of my first guests was Eugene. He came inebriated. He was beating on the neighbors' doors. He was getting me in trouble with Airbnb. And I said, my dream, ladies, have you ever sunk everything you've got, everything you've worked for, everything on your dream? And on day 2, it looks like the writing's on the wall. You are sunk. And I went to God and I figured it out with his help that, hey, Airbnb is not for me, because I've generated now, Sherrie, by the grace of God and by this simple little rent to riches plan that the Lord gave me, I've generated over $1 million in net worth of real estate value. That's on top of 5 figures and then 6 figures dropping into my bank account on the first of every month through rentals. I figured out, and you can do this too, because I flew under the radar, right? Because then guess what? Right after Eugene came, COVID hit. Okay, so you know what? Airbnbs are shut down, right? Everything was shut down. But I figured out how to fly under the radar, to have guests who wouldn't tap into forbearance and pretend they couldn't pay and never move out. God gave me a plan. And I call this rent to riches. And what I do, I don't use Airbnb vacation. This is not a side hustle. This is passive income. Why, you ask? How can this be passive? Because I rent to top tier professional tenants on midterm leases. A midterm lease is a beautiful thing. They are anywhere from 30 days to 6 months. And most of mine landed anywhere from about 4 months to 9 months. And some of them stayed almost a year, but that's my decision. Okay. These people aren't deadbeats. I heard that renters are poor people with problems. Those are yesterday's. That's yesterday's news. I've learned that top tier professional tenants are often remote workers looking for a spot to land for a contract job. They make more than I make. They can afford the rents I can't afford. They make 5 figures a month. So I don't sit around worrying, are they going to pay? Are they going to pay? Is it coming in? Is it coming in? They pay early. They pay all. They're not cheap people complaining. They pay well and they pay attention. So I don't have evictions. I don't have damage. I don't have complaints. I don't have noise issues. Bye-bye Airbnb. Bye-bye side hustle. This means I do 1 tenant searching, 1 bulletproof screening, 1 placement, and whether I'm getting my nails done or whether I'm playing at the park with my grandkids or whether I'm on vacation in Hawaii with my husband, cha-ching, the first of the month, you can count on it. Or the day before the first of the month, you can count on it. Sherrie, this is a beautiful thing. And I have to tell you, this is a God thing. But at the heart of it all, what scares me, what worries me about women these days, and the message going out to women is hustle, hustle, grind, make it happen. So what happens is the children get left behind. And as women, we dismiss our children and compartmentalize our parenting outside of our side hustle at our own demise. I want to tell you, there's a better way. There's a better way. There's a better way than sticking your kid in front of an iPad, than dropping them at the next door for this daycare and this door for Head Start and this door for after school care. There's a better way, mama, because what you're doing is you're investing for the future. I want to see all the women here. I don't care what age you're at. If you're a mama, choose to be an invested parent. What does that mean? You invest in those children, whether they're 5 or 25, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. We have so much to invest. And I feel like the lies that come at us are kids are a problem. I remember somebody said that Grant Cardone, who I think, he's done amazing things. He said, you got kids? And the Hormozy said, no, he said, good for business. Okay. That is something that gets in our psyche. Oh, children are in the way of making money. Children are in the way of my big dream.
Right.
I am a personal testimony that I got to 7 figures in net worth, real estate value without compromising my marriage, my relationship to my children. There are 5 adult men. 3 of them are married. They're my best friends. They're my coaches. They're my comrades in the faith. They're my prayer partners. My 6 grandchildren so far. I want 26.
26. Do
And I'm just
your
saying
kids know that?
yeah, well, I'm the kind of mom that doesn't talk about that. Pray about it.
That's good. That's good.
So girl, I have it all because God showed me that you can have it all. You just can't have it all at once in the way that the world's trying to get you to have it. And so I'm here to encourage you that you can put first things first and see, here's what I missed, Sherrie, and I didn't know. I had basements to rent out for decades. And you know what I was doing? I was doing charity. I was giving it away to people that needed it or that maybe they had a $20,000 car, but I was just nervous about charging over $200 for, all inclusive private driveway. Give me a break. So I was giving away my spaces. I had extra bedrooms. I had a complete basement with a bathroom, but I was not generating wealth by requiring somebody to exchange the value they had in their pocket for the value I had in my home. And so I'm here to say, ladies, right now, you're sitting on a gold mine, a lot of you. You're sitting upstairs and you got a daylight basement. You've got an enclosed basement. You've got a guest house. You've got an apartment above your garage. You've got a tiny home in the backyard. You've got a place to put a manufactured home. That's your money tree. That's your ATM. And with my system, you turn it on and off as you desire. People are waiting in line wrapped around the building for my spaces. So, and let me tell you this, I started working with one lady. She was asking me to help her find a place to buy to rent. So I did. We found a nice little 700 square foot bungalow. I said, let's not wait till it closes. Let's throw it out of my system. Within 2 days, she had full price, $2,500 a month for 2 months. And I'm just saying, your internal insecurity about market reality of what you can charge.
Right.
Nope. Take it from one who learned the hard way. You have way more than you realize. Do you know that the going rate across the board for one private bedroom, Sherrie, one bedroom, doesn't even have to be a master suite, is right around $1,000 to $1,500 a month? Now, you say to me, a stranger in my house. Oh my God. Oh, no. I have a 4-layered bulletproof screening system. You practically know your tenant before they move in. And honestly, I cry when my tenants leave. They still text me about the beautiful, life they had in my rental. So Sherrie, this is so doable. So doable, and doable so that you can have it all. A family intact, a marriage intact, grandchildren loving you, the most popular person in your family, and still be championing something marvelous financially. How exciting is that?
Okay. Are you guys just loving this energy? I mean, Denise, you're amazing, like nonstop. If you have any questions, just put it there in the chat. We can go asking Denise. But I hear you talking about renting. So I understand that you were out west and you moved to the East Coast. So did you buy and start renting? What are you doing now?
Well, what I do is I help people like those of you watching to figure out how to rent your spaces. And that's what I do through my Rent to Riches program. I also do a lot of parenting, speaking, and I wrote a parenting book and study guide, and I encourage mamas and homeschoolers, and that is like my passion. And it's so much fun to have a passive income stream so
Mhm.
that I can do those charity things, those volunteer things, those other ministry things. I do consider that rentals are part of my ministry. I love it. I love people. I see, the word of God says in Genesis, it's not good for man to be alone. And for a far away top tier professional to find a home away from home, and
Right.
I'm not nurturing them. They're kind of like a fancy cat. You never see them unless they're dashing in and
Right,
out to
but
go
are
to.
you renting then where you are or renting somewhere else?
Right now, I have the privilege of having a complete guest house that I just get to share right now. And it's funny that you asked that, because I just thought today, I could be making 5, 6 figures right here. I'm 2 blocks from the beach. So I have that privilege of deciding when I want to turn that on and off. And funny thing, Sherrie, when you move to Florida, everybody comes to visit. And so literally, and I bought this home specifically 2 blocks from the beach, walkable with a guest house on the money I earned through my rentals for the purpose of being able to monetize this. But
Mhm.
but it's been such fun to just host guest after guest for 2 years. It's been open maybe a week. And so
Uh-huh.
it's really been fun. But that is due to rent to riches. And now I can turn that income stream on when I want. And so those of you sitting there thinking, I'd love to be by the beach. I'd love to. It is time to dream big and to believe God for what He's put in your heart, and to think outside the box of what perhaps you're putting up with or believing, the lie you might be believing, like you so eloquently put it, Sherrie, at the beginning, that there is an enemy in our minds, there is an enemy around us, that we got to put on the gloves every day we wake up. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm enjoying helping others.
Mhm.
uh, I love taking them by the hand and leading them into the passive rental promised land. And that's where my energies are at this moment, along with the parenting
That's
project.
beautiful. And so let's say if you don't own a home, you're renting a home.
Yes,
Is this still possible?
absolutely. I have, with the system that I use, there is a little portion that you declare that you're subletting.
Mhm.
And it's amazing how many landlords don't mind that you do that.
Mhm.
You need, for instance, I had a client, and she lost her child support because her children outgrew it, and
Mhm.
she had really depended on that for her space. Obviously,
Right.
her
Mhm.
children live with her, and so she threw it on Airbnb.
Mhm.
Well, the landlord found out and did not like that, because Airbnb is a wild card. It's
Right.
like Eugene come knocking, and I'm saying, so she asked, could I just get a roommate that helps me pay the rent? There
Mm.
you go.
Right.
Now, she could have got a $500 roommate, or she could go with me and get a $1,500 roommate in the city that she's in. Well, what
Mhm.
do you think she's going to decide to do? And
Right.
so it is so, so, so doable. Yes. I have a friend who has a home in the Queen Anne area of Seattle. Now, this is where you see the Space Needle and the water and the mountains, and she asked her landlord, would it be okay if, while I'm gone a lot for my job, I'm renting from you, could I rent the space out? The landlord said, sure, as long as you've got good tenants, and you're bringing in the money, and you can even tell them you'll bump up the rent for them, for that landlord, because with my system, you will. So it's so doable.
Uh-huh. That's amazing. That's amazing. And so, so anyway, I hope this is gets you thinking. Maybe it's if you own or rent, and what you just see a space, a possibility. Maybe it's one room, two rooms, right? Like you could even prepare like a kitchenette or something like that, right? And just have like a space. There's so many
Yes.
options, right?
Totally customizable. I had a woman who has a duplex in another state, and she was renting out one side of it, which had a complete kitchen. Well, the other side, she was just storing all her memorabilia, all her junk,
Right.
and it does not have a complete kitchen. I said, get that junk out of there and let's rent that puppy out. Okay. So you have a hot plate, you have a sink, you You won't believe how you can make this work. And that is one of the objections, those mountains that'll get in somebody's way. It's not good enough. A bedroom's not good enough. Like I said, when we opened, $1,000 a month for a simple private bedroom with a lock on the door, which costs you about $5 at Ace Hardware,
Wow.
and you are in business. And so many scenarios that I could go into about how to make it work with even one bedroom and the mini fridge, and absolutely the investment. See, what you're doing, Sherrie, is using what's in your hands.
Exactly.
You don't have to sink all this money into redecorating. I also help with that. I help with your copy of how they stop from looking to booking your spot. I help with how to do a few little things that spark it. I help with all those little secrets. I help with things you didn't even think of because I've been there, I've done that. I know what they want. I know what they'll pay more for. So Sherrie, the sky's the limit. There is no reason you can't do this. No
Mm.
reason. And some of you have a mortgage that is bigger than your britches, and you know it, and you're suffering. That's the plan, like I said, of the system, is to get you suffering under the burden, to be dependent on another job and another job. Well, wait just a minute, hold the phone. How important is it that you're with your children and that you can make 6 figures plus this year? How about you think about renting out that gorgeous home and making 5 figures a month on that gorgeous home? Happens every day, all the time. I got hit up all the time for 20, like, what was it, 1,700 square feet, maybe 13. They were standing in line to pay me $4,200 a month because they needed to go build a home, or they needed to, or they were just on a contract as a professor at the local college for 3 months. So get yourself a little studio, pack the kids in there, do Little House on the Prairie, and rent that sucker out for 5 figures a month and get that cash infusion. See, we got to dream bigger. We got to think outside the box. Turbulent times call for desperate measures, Sherrie. And I'm your girl to show you how it can work, because I believe.
Turbulent times. Okay, so let me just say this. If you are living in a tight situation, this is not God's will for you. And so maybe this is an answer. This is an answer to what your situation is. And a lot of us are thinking, oh, how can I go out and get a job? And you get a job, it's going to be taking up all your time. Then Uncle Sam is going to take off his percentage. And
50, try
still,
50% right there. Yep.
and you're still almost like where you began. You're still not being able to make ends meet. And that is real. That pinch, we can feel it. We know the pain. But this is actually a resource that you can take a hold of. Like Denise has said so eloquently in so many different forms, that this is actually an option that you just take a few steps. And if you get this knowledge, and as a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and put this link here, and we'll also have it in the show notes. But this is an option for you. Let me just do a copy paste here. There we go. And this, let me see, did I paste it? There we go. Let me use both of my hands. And this is really is an option for you. And so
You're awesome. And I thank you, Sherrie, for putting this together for women, to give them hope, to know there's a way out. All the guests that you're having on have such valuable gold that is being poured out to the airwaves. And thank you, Sherrie, for all the tech, for all the detail. This is no small thing you're organizing here, and it's so valuable. And I'm honored to be able to just speak what God's done for me. And I thank you, because there are women who absolutely need to know there is a way out. Because right now, the median price house in my hometown is $675,000, Sherrie. Let's just put our decoder ring on and say that's double income. That's double income plus. And do you know that double income people, this is absolutely 100% true, are spending 1/3 more than they're bringing in our United States right now. And you know what? My heart goes out to them. My
Right.
heart goes out because they work night and day, and good grief. Let's at least eat out or have a vacation or do something or have something nice. We're working night and day, but
Right.
time out. There is so much more. And you know what else I found, Sherrie, when
Wow.
I started being an adult and buying homes right around the 2000s. I get a little postcard every 6 months to tell me my new house payment because I have to pay my fair share because we need to pass another public school levy. Do you know, right before COVID launched, we passed, I didn't pass it, but the rest of the city passed it, a $535 million school levy. That is on your back, mama. That is on your mortgage. Do you know, just after COVID was kind of getting unpopular, they passed another one for over 400 million. I didn't get any of that money back while the schools were closed. Did you? No. So consequently, with your property insurance and your constant upgrading property taxes and your mortgage payment and your lawn care and your fill in the blanks, your utilities,
Right.
the American dream's become a living nightmare. But hiding in the problem is your solution, mama. And I can lead you there and I can show you. And if all you do is hit me up at Rent to Riches, and that's the word rent, the number 2, riches.net, and Sherrie's put that link in the chat, and you just sign in there. Yep, you can. You can watch a little webinar I have on there, just a little video. You don't even have to watch a webinar. Just sign up. I'll get your information and I'll set up a time with you. And I will give you free. This is a bonus I'm giving to Sherrie's people, and this is highly valuable. It is a CPPA. It is a customized personal property assessment. And you can say to me, Denise, really, what could I get for a month for my private bedroom?
Right.
What could I get for a month for my daily? And I'm going to do research for you. And I'm going to tell you the going rate in your community, in your neighborhood. And some of you are going to be mind blown about what you could be getting. And this can be something you champion as a woman. Not that you're putting on your suit and running out the door every day to 10 hours. No, that mama, grandma, whoever you are, is putting on her big girl panties, and she is an entrepreneur, and she is championing a legacy, not only a financial legacy, but a spiritual, emotional, a brand new way of looking at life and income. And rather than crossing your fingers and living in lack, waiting for luck, oh, a stimulus payment, woohoo! Well, we know all about that. It's pay me now or pay me later. You just haven't been billed for it yet, right? You can break out of that mentality that so many people are in and create. God made you to create. And I'm here to help you learn to create something out of what you think is nothing, because that's my specialty.
That's awesome. And as we're wrapping up, it's just remember, like Denise just got done saying, like I said at the beginning, we are constantly being bombarded with lies, with things that seem real, but they aren't. This is an opportunity for you. And so I also see, Denise, are you going to be holding a summit or being part of a summit? Tell us more about that.
I am doing so many fun things to get this word out. If you go to that website, you're going to be aware of a live virtual event I'm going to be doing to train you in how this works. And these are so much fun. It's going to be a blast. So go to that website. You're going to see everything I do. I'm also part of a mompreneur summit that starts the first week of June. And you'll see that on my socials. You'll find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I post pretty much every day, and I'll be highlighting that because just like Sherrie is gathering women who found answers to their problems, solutions to their pain, this summit that I'm going to be sharing out again is going to do the very same thing. So maybe I'm not the one for you. I could be perfect for some of you, what I have, but I may not be your flavor or your particular business desire. But just like what Sherrie's presenting at the summit that I'll be at, the Mompreneur Summit, the first week of June, you will hear, Jesus said, my sheep will hear my voice. When you hear a voice and I'm resonating with that, I'm vibing with that, I'm feeling what that woman is saying, you're going to find that. You seek and you shall find, right? And so on this, anytime I watch what Sherrie's gathered, there is gold, and I love to review it, and I'm so glad for the recordings. And so thank you, Sherrie, so much. So yes, I'm always doing something.
That's awesome. And so I just encourage you as we are wrapping up today that don't listen to the lie that you can't, that your time is up, that you are too old, that you can't do it, that you're not smart enough. Don't listen to these lies, because that's what they are. And as we were seeing last week, we had an interview with Lori Ray, and she would define fear, right? It's the false evidence that appears real. And so it's an appearance. And everywhere we look, there are lies. Everywhere we look, we are being told lies. And when we believe those lies, then that's what we are living. We live in lack, we live in fear, we live in doubt, and that is not the space for you, because that is what we believe here at Shine 365, is that your life deserves and ought to shine, not just be there lackluster, wishing and thinking, oh, this is for someone else, but this is for you. If you're listening to this, if you're catching this on Facebook, on YouTube, or wherever, remember, these words have reached you because there's a purpose. There's a purpose in them. And so, Denise, I thank you so much for coming, for sharing this with us. And I encourage you to go check it out. Go see what you can do with what you have in your hand, whether you're renting, whether you own. Think about the possibility. Don't just say, oh no, this isn't for me, and continue living in a tight pinch. That's not what God has for you. And so, do you have any final words for us, Denise?
I would. If you're like me, you're thinking too small. 100% what Sherrie said. What do we do when we're disappointed? We let down, we turn down our barometer, our thermostat, but it's time to hope again, ladies. Trust me. Like I said, and I just read a quote that women after 50 tend to create their most of their wealth. And here I am. I'm a grandma. I'm a mother of adult children. It's not too late. You're not too old. You're not the wrong color. You're not the wrong whatever, fill in the blank. Thank you, Sherrie, for just highlighting that and underscoring that. Let's believe God and raise the bar in our hearts and minds about what God has for us. He has come to give us life, and life abundantly, and to do immeasurably more than we can even think, ask, or hope. How much is that? If you're not living in that right now, then I encourage you, you are thinking too small, because God is not a liar. So Sherrie, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a privilege and an honor to be with you. I always enjoy our times together. And
Yes.
I look forward to hearing from those of you who want my help with that free CPPA. I am here for you.
That's right. Well, I really, once again, encourage you to take Denise up on this offer. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. And remember, check out this link. It's there for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.